Hello, I am Daisy, your hostess, and today is TNT Day. That's Trending News Tarot Day, where I will interpret the cards to questions provided by you regarding what's trending in the news. Let's keep in mind that this is for entertainment purposes and to give us a platform where we can discuss things with respect and levity. Thank you. So, the question that we have today is COVID-19, new variant. Will history repeat itself? Now, one of the hardest questions to ask literally here is, as I'm looking at the news, there was an article that came up by CBC.ca, and its headline uses highly mutated COVID virus variant BA.2.86 showing up in multiple countries, such as Israel, Denmark, United States, and UK. It says not yet in Canada, and this was released just today, 8 hours ago. So what is the deal with that? So we'll go about first starting with, these countries and why these countries, COVID, and these countries and where is it heading. And here we have the Nine of Pentacles. We see that she is reversed, and we're talking about earthly things. So it's almost as if it did not come of the earth, as if something was happening that it's kind of moving around the air, which is pretty much similar to what these viruses do. And like for entertainment purposes, even these little things are looking like the little virus design. So when we see this here, what does it mean showing up in these countries? And yet, the fact that it does not come of the earth, that's really interesting. So this mutation, it's taking its course. It's what these things do. They just mutate. I am not a scientist or in the medical field, so please do your research. Let's look at this here as far as this variant is looking at the COVID virus that is, manifesting itself, and where is this coming from as far as these other countries. So it just seems that it's interesting that the virus, its history, apparently what it was supposed to do, it seems that it didn't take hold. It didn't do what it was apparently meant to do. If there was a manipulation of the situation, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. So here we have where we are today because of what had happened in the recent past. Now, where is it going? What's going to happen with this situation, with this COVID virus, and the way that it's progressing through the different countries? And the way that I'm interpreting this card, we see now, again, if we take a look at just the symbols, how we can pretty much say, well, for practical purposes, when we see these pentacles, we could pretend that they're the virus itself. Then when we see this massive sun on the ground, and we see these two people here where they were supposed to kind of blend, to trigger something, well, it's in the reverse. This virus, according to what I'm seeing here, is not going to be able to take hold. Even though we have a major arcana card, meaning it is something that, according to divine plan, this is supposed to progress to lead us to the next step of our evolution. So as in anything in nature, there is a progression to help us disclose or unveil or rid of old negative thinking to progress into forward and new ways of thinking. But here, this manipulation or this earthly thing is not going to take hold. It's not going to have an anchor. So this, according to what I'm seeing here, this particular strand, yes, it's going to affect some, but it will not really have the impact that the steam that maybe the previous one had. There is another question that did come up in regards to this, the COVID virus. And the question was, if the virus is being manipulated, is it to affect the elections? Is it a ploy to affect the elections? So we could take this as a yes or no question. This would have to be as far as a collective group, an individual or individual group that can control. Let's see what can be revealed if this is used as a tool to influence or affect the elections. Well, again, we're getting more of this symbol of what, if we're just using symbols, not what the sun means itself, but as the symbol of a virus. It looks like there could have been or could be that there will be a collective group, a certain group that has influence that will use it to try to affect an election. And there's this website, Global Overview of COVID-19 Impact on Elections. If you're interested to see, does it affect elections? Well, there was another study done where it showed that COVID-19 in 2020 did affect the elections. It brought more people into voting, not at the polls, but by mail. So is there going to be a change? Has this changed? It'll be interesting to see moving forward. But definitely there seems to be, according to the question, that some groups of interest would be using this platform to influence elections. The next question in regards to the COVID-19 variant that's showing up is this being used to mask the poor economy and keep people mind away from their strife and more concerned about their health? So let's see how this is showing up as far as this being used to mask the poor economy. And we'll evolve more questions if we need it here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Somebody here worried. If you keep people busy on something else, well, guess what? The last thing is the economy when they're concerned about their health. And the thing is that this is a mental health issue, not just a physical issue. So there seems to be a ploy, according to what the narrative here that I'm interpreting, at a collective level of a certain group or a party of interest or parties of interest. Don't know if it's the government or whom or what, but definitely according to the question and the way that I'm seeing this card, that yes, by directing the attention towards this variant, no one's paying attention for the job report numbers, the economy, when they're more concerned about their health and if they're going to make it. So really, really good questions, everyone. I really appreciate these questions. And, the final question was the original question, which is COVID-19, new variant. Will history repeat itself? A yes or no question. Well, looks like we don't learn lessons. It's a resounding yes. Let's look at the history that did repeat itself. 1918, the Spanish flu, that pandemic, and it was recorded as the most severe pandemic in recent history. And so here we are now. Recently, that history did repeat, and will it in the future? That's the question. In a small, the information that I'm getting to share is that in a small group, there will be those that will be affected by fear, and there will be that sector of society that is already weak and predisposed to getting sick easier. So there will be that sense of fear, and in those chapters of those individual people, history will be repeating itself. So, and there you have it. I can't give you more than what I'm seeing here. And in answer to that question, thank you so much for joining me for TNT Trending News Tarot. Hope you enjoyed. Leave me your comments. Send me your questions here on this post.